Hello everybody, it's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. Today we are going to play, we're going to make a quilt type card, and I'm going to use the Shy Shamrock. I'm also pulling in some of the 2024, 2026 in colors. I have a piece of Petunia Pop, some basic white cardstock, and then also the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. I also have this embossing folder, and then we're going to use this punch, and I want to use Thanks a Bunch for my sentiment. So before we get started, I want to cut all the pieces because we have to run some items through the embossing folder. So let's go ahead and make room to do that. We're going to need to bring in our paper trimmer. Okay. So we want a card base that is 4 1/4. So let's make sure this is 4 1/4. Yep. By 11. Okay. And on that 11-inch side, we want to score this at 5 1/2. Okay. Then I want a piece of basic white cardstock that is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I want that for the inside of my card. Then I also need a piece of basic white that is in a square, and I want it to be 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay. There's that piece. And then we have a piece to punch and stamp our sentiment. We'll keep that separate. I then want to cut a piece of Designer Series paper, which I'm going to do out of the Unbounded Love piece. And I want this to be 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Because this will layer right on top of that. Okay. Then I also am going to use the opposing side of this cardstock. And let's see how long this is. Perfect. Okay, so I want a piece that is 2 inches. And then we're going to be punching the bottom of that. So I'm going to put that aside there. Now I'm going to bring in some of my in color Designer Series paper, and I'm going to do like that piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, right? Let's see here. I want 1, 2, yeah, okay. And we only need some scraps for this, so keep that in mind. You don't need a full piece, but I want a 1/2 inch by 6 inch strip. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And that should be all of our cutting with our trimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and remove our Designer Series paper to give us room. Okay. Then I want to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to bring in my Shy Shamrock and my Thanks a Bunch. Okay. I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. Perfect. So we're done with that. Okay. Next, we're going to punch out our sentiment. Just like that. And then I'm also going to punch the bottom of my rectangle piece so it has a banner look. And let's make sure, well, hold on. We might have to trim that depending on how high up I went there. Okay, so now we have those pieces. Now we're going to take our square, okay, our basic white square, and we're going to take a ruler, and I'm going to lightly, and I'll show you with a pencil, draw marks here so we can see where our lines are. Okay. It's very subtle. I understand that. We're going to need to erase those lines here in a minute. But first, we want to layer our pieces down. And how I'm going to do that, I need my paper snips. There we go. I'm just going to cut this at an angle, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Well, let's go ahead. What I'm going to do before I do the angle, I'm going to put some glue in the middle, just like that. And we're not going to glue down all the edges yet. I'm just going to line my papers up. Okay, right on that line, on the points. Oops, I want to only do okay. Then what I'm going to do is going this way, I'm going to start weaving this pattern in, just like that. And I'm going to put a little dab of glue, just like that, to hold it in place. We'll put more glue once we have our pattern done. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to go the opposite way. So I'm going to go over and under this one. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to glue that in place. Okay, so then what we're going to do, I want to make sure that, there we go. We're going to cut these off at a point, or on this side at a point, and then we'll secure them down, okay? So we're matching that up all along that 3-inch border. And all we did was a tiny bit of paper weaving. Okay. So that's what you're left with. And now let's go ahead and glue those pieces down. And I don't need to worry about erasing because I covered my marks, which is perfect. So I'm just going to make sure that I have glue on the corners. Okay. And we have 2 more corners, I think. Okay, we're all glued down. Now we are going to run this through the embossing folder to give our quilted look, and then we'll put an embellishment in the center there of the using the in color dots. Grab my big cut and emboss machine. And we need okay, why is everything so difficult today? Okay. So we're going to run this through the embossing machine, and I'm going to have my pleats on. That's too big. I always do this, y'all. I always forget my pattern. Okay. That should have worked fabulously. Yes, it did. Oh, I love how that turned out. Okay. Let me get this off my desk, and then we'll put our card together. Super fun. Really is a pretty card, and it uses scraps. So that's what's nice about this card. I didn't have a ton of scraps yet of the designer series paper, but it works. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold our card base in half. Okay. Then I'm gonna put my basic white cardstock inside. Centering that down. Okay. Then I'm going to add my, oh, I did that perfect. right on. Then I'm going to add my banner. Just adding glue. And adding that right to the center of the card. Okay, then we're going to layer these two together. And we're going to put those on dimensionals. Then we'll take off the back. Okay. Then we're going to center this right on down in the middle. Okay. And then we need to put our sentiment on. And I'm only going to put dimensionals on the bottom and the two bottom pieces because it's going to kind of sit up like that, and we won't need it since that other piece is built up already. Okay, so just like that. And then we need to add our embellishment into the center. And I think I'm going to use the pink. And I'm just going to put that right there in the center. Just like that, you guys. You know what? I'm going to do something else. I am going to add a little bit more. Let's add these to the corners. The background was too plain for me. I needed some pop. So there is our card, you guys. I love how it turned out. I love the quilted look, and we used some new products. So until next time, my creative peeps, I hope you have a great night, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.